Thank you for watching a Cheney Twins video. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Cheney Twins. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and also click on the notification bell to get notifications. Thank you for joining the everyday makeup routine. Right now you can see that I'm holding up the Anastasia Beverly Hills Chocolate Brow Duo Powder. And it comes in two colors. It comes in a lighter color and a darker color. You see that the darker shade I am putting on my brows, and I'm outlining them with a Anastasia brow pencil in number 12. As you can see, I'm outlining them, making sure I'm getting that perfect straight lines. You want to make sure that it's straight and even, and I'm just outlining them. I'm not filling them in yet, just outlining my brows just to give them shape. After that, I dip it in the darker shade and just go ahead and fill it in. Sometimes you don't have to dip it. You can just use the leftover powder and just fill it in, because you don't want it to be so harsh and dark. So we just blend that in smoothly. Right now I'm just brushing the powder in the brow just to make sure I give that even texture to the brow. Then I take a look at it to make sure that I brush it very well. So now we're going to our light color, and the light color, you're going to put it in the inner brow. I'm going to go ahead and outline it, and then go ahead and do some light strokes to get that light to dark transition. And so you want to make sure that you're filling it in and making it really nice. And then what we're going to do after that is go ahead and brush it in so it won't look as harsh. And as you can see, I'm just brushing it upwards in the direction of the brow shape. Here we're doing the same technique. You want to make sure you outline your brow and you fill it in, just the same as we did on the other side. Precise lines. And make sure that you're using a curve. And yes, do not do that. A lot of people take the big part of the brush and start brushing it in. No, it's going to look harsh and it's not going to distribute the powder smoothly. So go ahead and just do those strokes, like line strokes, the fine strokes of the brush, so you can get it really smooth and soft. We're going to go ahead and go in with the light powder and outline it, and make sure that we feather it up really soft. If you feel that you put too much color down and it's a little bit too harsh, go ahead and brush it. I mean, as you see that I'm attempting to try to do that before I drop the brush, I'm going to go ahead and just brush that and make it very even and distribute the lighter color into the dark color and feather that out. You can go and touch it up if you feel that you need to, but make sure that it's even. As you can see, we have our Juvia's Place concealers. One is a number 11 and the other is a number 12. I use a brush for this part because I want it to be very precise. A nice, flat, thin brush would work for this. You can also, as I'm going to show in a few seconds, you can also use the one that comes with the product. So what I'm doing is distributing the product. I'm getting it off the one and just distributing the product. So that's the one there that you can use. But for those who are starting out, I would say get a brush because it gives you better control. And you can just see because that one is a little bit fat. So you're going to go ahead and outline the brow and bring the color in, and you can see how I got some of the concealer in the brow. That's okay. Go ahead and get your concealer brush and just even out that line, and get your brush, your brow brush, just to brush that concealer out. But right there, we're just bringing the concealer down and we're patting it to make sure it's very even. You can see that I'm doing off the camera. I got some Mercier powder, translucent powder in the traditional color, which is like a white creamy color, and I am setting the concealer. Setting concealer gives you a very matte look. If you leave the concealer, it's going to be shiny, and if you touch your brow, the concealer is going to move. So make sure that you can set it with the concealer, with a setting powder. Make sure that you set it with the setting powder. And so there it is in the picture. We're just dipping it and making sure that we set that concealer in, and it gives more of a softer look. And we're just blending it on out. Right here it looks like I dipped it in the powder again, or swiped it in the powder again, just to touch up to make my lines even, where I might have gotten concealer or felt like the lines wasn't as precise. Now we're going over with the concealer again and doing the same thing on the other side. Want to make sure you're using your brush and going right underneath the hairs and making sure that it's very smooth and you're evening out the concealer. You don't want to build up of the concealer, because what we're going to do is take that translucent powder to set it. So if you was to touch your brow, it won't move, or you won't have fingerprints in the concealer area because you're going to set it with the Laura Mercier powder. As you can see here, we are taking that Laura Mercier powder and just blending it on out. And we're just blending it out into the skin, and we're making sure that it's as even as possible, that we don't have any buildup of concealer, that everything is really smooth to the skin. And so you want to make sure that you're blending and smoothing that out. Now we're taking a darker color concealer to go on the top. It looks kind of the same, but it's not. It's just a tad bit darker, because what we're going to do is blend that in the skin. And so what we're doing is just outlining the top of the brow, just to give that same clean, precise look of the underbrow, the arch, to the top. So what we're going to do is blend that out into our foundation. The foundation that I used today before we got on camera was the Vanish Hourglass Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation by Hourglass. Okay, so it's I said it backwards. The Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation Hourglass in the color Golden Almond. All of the products that's used in today's video, no worries, we're going to have it in the description. But go ahead and just blend that out, and you see how it blends it very well into the skin. And that's what you want to do. Make sure you blend it, because this is an everyday look. So you don't want to have that overcast. You want to make sure that everything is blended in the skin, because you want it to look to little to no makeup look and very natural. So you want to just make sure that you're blending it on out. And once you start, I'm actually taking my time because I'm doing this just to make sure that everything is detailed for you guys. This actually goes a little bit faster. So what I'm doing there was just checking out my brows. As you can see, we got some darkness under the eye. We'll just take care of that with a little concealer. Go ahead and use your darker concealer, and I believe that might be in the number 12 for Juvia's Place that I am using. And you're just going to dab it up under the eye, just a little bit. And then what you're going to do is take your beauty blender and just pat it into the skin. Want to make sure you pat it. Don't drag it, because if you drag it, you're going to be wiping off your foundation. And so you can decide if you want to add, because it's add more concealer, because this is an everyday look, just simply build up. Just go ahead and put your concealer on, and then decide, okay, I might need some more concealer. Just apply a little bit more on top. Start with less and then build it up if you need to, because like I said, this is an everyday look. And so as you can see, those dark areas under the eye is not seeping through the foundation, and it looks pretty good. Okay, right now I'm just showing you the different powders you could use. One of them is the Secret Brightening Powder for Under the Eyes by Laura Mercier. The other powder is the regular translucent powder, which is a lighter color that I'm going to show you now. And the third one is the translucent medium powder in deep. And so what we're going to use is the translucent medium powder in deep, because we don't want a glow or anything under the eye. We just want a natural look, skin look. And so what we're going to do is set that concealer with the translucent medium powder in deep. And so you have your translucent loose powder that you're just patting, not wiping or swiping. You're just patting that powder under the eye. Here I am showing you the Warrior 2 palette. The Warrior 2 palette has all the natural mattes. The Warrior palette is the first line of palettes that came out with the Warrior in the Warrior collection, and that is if you want to do a full glam, natural glams, and it has the shine and the shimmers for your lids. There I am actually using the color from the Warrior 2 palette and using Zuma. You also can use Kufra or Yadit in that area as well to darken it up. But what I'm mainly focusing on is using Zama, the reddish color, just to wake up that lid or the crease area. And you want to make sure that you're blending it and evenly distributing the color. Next, I'm using a traditional black liner just to tie everything in and wake up the eye, to define the eye, because we're not using a lot of makeup. So what I am doing is just using a black liner. I am just wiping off that area, wiping the area just in case I touched it and smushed it with a fingerprint or anything else. I'm just brushing it out. There I'm using mascara. The brand is Boxem in big T's, and it's the blackest black mascara. If you're using a cheaper mascara, you want to just make sure that you're applying several coats just to build it up, because this is a low to no makeup look, and you want to make sure that you are showing a little lash. There I'm showing you the MAC lip liner in Chestnut. That is my go-to lip liner. I don't have any other lip liner but that one. I have other lip liners, but this is the only lip liner that I actually use every day, even with glam looks. And that is the MAC lip liner pencil in Chestnut. And what I'm doing is outlining my lips, and I am blending it in, smudging it in. And I am using my matte lip color and Mama My or Shy Girl. I can't remember which one that is. And what I am doing is just covering. I did cover the lipstick with the over the liner, because I want to make sure that that line is not harsh. As you can see, I'm pointing to the area of the eye to show you how smooth that is and how it looks just like a natural skin look. And I'm just holding up the eyeshadow palette so you can see. But there I'm just showing you the eyes and how that brow is very nice and precise. On to number 2 of this tutorial. We're going to go over the products again. So what I'm doing is showing you the Milk Primer. That's just what I just showed you, and I put it all over the face. Then I follow it up with my deep translucent setting powder, and I brush it all over the face. And I use my foundation. By using the foundation over the translucent powder, help me use less product. I just showed you the Anastasia brush in number 12 and the Anastasia powder in chocolate. Make sure you grab that. I'm also showing you the Anastasia chocolate palette one more time, because you want to make sure that it comes with 2 colors, and you get that Anastasia brush number 12. Okay, that's that primer I'm showing you again, and make sure that you apply it all over the face before you put your foundation on, and it's good for oily and dry skin, combination skin. You can just put it all over the face to give that smooth look. Make sure you go over with that translucent powder, because without it you'll be putting too much foundation on, and it'll make this look heavy. You want little to no makeup. Also, we have our translucent powder. You can use the translucent powder, which is just a lighter color under the eye if you would like, but we use that to set our concealer. So make sure that you have that. Those are the concealers, the Juvia's Place concealer in 12 and 11. Now I'm looking for the other concealer that you can use is NARS, just if you would like to use to lighten up your Juvia's Place concealer. Next, I want to just show you the brush that I use, and that's the Morphe flat brush. I'm going to have the numbers in the description. If you don't have a brush, you can go ahead and use the ones that I just showed you, the ones to the concealers itself. That one is a smaller one, and you, from the beginners, that would be perfect to start off with if you didn't have a brush. Okay, the Warrior 2 palette with the mattes, we use Zama and Yodit in the crease area. Just wanted to show you guys that. And then next we have our mascara by Boxam in Big T's in the Blackest Black. And I just want to thank you guys. Thanks for joining us for this look. I hope you enjoyed it.